Hello, welcome to Pike Creek Farm and welcome to Frugal February. This is Saturday and I'm just doing some things around the house, and one of the things I'm going to do is turn some of our venison that we have into breakfast sausage. I use this. They have other flavors too, and I'm really happy with it, and I will make 12 pounds of sausage and package it up for the freezer. I have canned it before and it's good canned. I've done patties and ground, and it's convenient, but I really prefer the texture and taste of it after it's been frozen, to cook it fresh. So this batch, I'm not gonna can, I'm gonna put it in the freezer because we have breakfast, often. If this is your first time here, my name is Renee and I'm in the thumb of Michigan. And I had one of my viewers say I should explain that. The lower peninsula of Michigan is shaped, I don't know if this will turn out opposite on the camera, but it's shaped like a mitten. The lower peninsula is shaped like a mitten. And I am up here in the middle of the thumb, the tip of the thumb. Like I always say, the county I live in is the thumbnail, and we're kind of in the middle towards the lake. So that's the thumb of Michigan. And I like to do videos on canning and baking and vintage recipes and cooking from my pantry and how I meal plan and just being thrifty while still thriving. That's been my focus this year, thrifty and thriving. I am semi-retired and adjusting to this new lifestyle, both mentally, emotionally, physically, and monetarily, everything. So I hope you'll come along for the journey if that kind of stuff interests you. So I'm going to open up all my meat that I let thaw. This brand here, they recommend, it makes 12 pounds. There's like 2 packages that come in here, 2 seasoning packs. And this is pretty peppery. I like it a lot. I have dinner in the oven. And it recommends, if you're using any wild game like venison or elk, to add 30% ground pork. And you can grind the meat yourself. I use our ground meat that I get from the processor, and then I pick up some pork sausage from the processor too. Well, this is plain. It's just ground pork. It's not sausage. Like, here's from another place, and see it says ground pork. I'm gonna open them all up, put them in a bowl, mix it all up. You add a little bit of ice water to it, and then I'm going to just package it up and freeze it. I'll probably have some for breakfast tomorrow, but Sunday breakfast, you gotta have sausage, right? But I love it for egg casseroles, for sausage patties, sausage gravy. I add it into different recipes, like a pound of it in with my chili or with meatloaf, just different, meatballs, just to give that different flavor profile. I find it very handy to have on hand. And we get so much ground venison that this turns it into something else that I can use. And I'm not buying it at the store then. It's very economical, I feel. And this was about $12, and it makes 24 pounds of meat. So, it's 50 cents a pound for the seasoning part of it. So I don't find that bad at all. So I'm going to open these all up. Our venison is just pure venison. We don't have any beef suet or pork added. I add the fat when I go to cook it if I feel I need it. It depends on what I am cooking. And we were lucky to harvest 3 deer this year, and I still had some ground venison left from last year. So I did can up some of that venison to make it shelf stable. So I have 8 pounds of venison and 4 pounds of sausage. And for me, it's not just a matter of being frugal. This is also a way of knowing exactly what is in our food. And I sometimes I'll season my own. I do have a recipe for a maple sausage that I have my own spices that I add. And that one's really good too. But what I do like about this is it doesn't really have a lot of extra stuff. It does have sugar, it has spices, spice extractive, natural maple flavor, and it has some anti-caking like salt does, and citric acid to protect the flavor. Okay, I'm going to add the seasoning now. And we're going to start mixing. I want to try and get this dispersed all the way through. I have found this works well for us. And I just breathed in pepper. This country style one is peppery. I like it. It's not too peppery, but it has a little bit of a bite to it. Like, I need to add some ice water to this too, but I'm not going to do that until after I get it all mixed. Because if you were grinding the meat, you would grind them together and keep adding the seasoning. I'm going to add in the cold water. It says 1/4 cup for every pound. That's 12 pounds. I don't really think I want to add 3 cups of water. So I have 2 cups here. Because that doesn't seem right to me. That seems like a little bit too much. Let's see though. Okay, it is absorbing it all. And it's getting it to a nice texture that I will be able to form a patty. I think that's all I am going to add is the 2 cups. But let's cook up 1 patty and see how it will turn out. Yeah, that turned out nice. Nice. Soft. I don't think I added the water the last time. So I'm going to put this in this pan and go wash my hands again. I'm just going to brown this up, cook it up, and I'll bring you back and we'll see how it looks. But I think that looks really nice. The recipe that I have that I make from scratch for sausage is actually made with turkey, ground turkey. It's a leaner sausage and it has maple syrup, real maple syrup in it, and rosemary, and it's very good. And I've done it with venison before and it tastes good, so I might make some more of that too. If I do, I will show you that recipe. It has a little more of a sweetness to it, but some savory. It is a sweeter sausage, but still savory. This is cooking up nice. It's folding together. I will package this up and I will probably make some sandwiches for the freezer, breakfast sandwiches. Make some patties for that. Maybe I'll make some homemade English muffins. I could get some low-carb tortillas and make some breakfast burritos. Jim's not as big a fan of those, but I like them for breakfast or lunch. Getting a little brownness to it. Here it is. And there's the inside. It held up really, it held together really well. It's not dry at all. And the texture is really good. I think adding the water really helps the texture, which I didn't realize. You see the red pepper? Oh. Anyway, this is great. It'll make great breakfast for us to add to dinners, breakfast sandwiches, breakfast burritos. It's the perfect sausage to me for making hamburger sausage gravy. So if you're looking for a way to save some money, you can make your own sausage. You can use ground pork, you can use wild game, you can use ground turkey, and you can stock your freezer with sausage that you make. And it's actually very frugal and it's very good. You know what's in it. So thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be packaging this up and I'll show you a picture at the end of it all packaged up. And we'll see you next time at Pike Creek Farm.